Now that we have a handle on the fundamental structure of matter, the atoms, we can look at some characteristics of matter. We have certainly learned about the three states of matter: solid, liquid, and gas. But did you know about plasma? You have also probably heard that gases move fast and solids move slow. But did you know how that influences the characteristics of each state? I think we'll start there. In a solid, the particles are moving very slowly. This means that the particles cannot move fast enough to break away from their mutual attraction to each other. This strengthens the form, and the solid does not change its overall shape. In a liquid, the particles move more quickly than in a solid. Because of this movement, the liquid does not hold a solid shape. It instead falls to fill in the shape of its container. 350 milliliters of juice can take many different forms depending on the shape of its container, but it will always have the same volume. This is because there is still enough attractive force to hold the volume constant. That is not the case for a gas. The particles in a gas are moving so fast that they will even expand to fill a container. There is very little attractive force between the particles. Depending on the energy, or temperature, matter can change from one state to another. We know these changes as evaporation, boiling, condensation, freezing, and melting. You should know about these changes, but if you need a refresher, check out page 54 in the book. Remember that more energy makes the particles move faster, less energy, and they move slower. There is another type of change that goes directly from solid to gas, like the smoke from dry ice. This is called sublimation. As an aside, we will look at yesterday's question. I asked you to form a hypothesis about how wind cools us off. Now we know that movement is energy, and energy is heat, so moving air should just make it hotter. But we know that wind cools us, so what gives? What is going on is that evolution has taken advantage of a property of physics called latent energy. This means that, beyond the energy that heats the liquid, a little extra energy is needed to change it from a liquid to a gas. Imagine the mercury on a thermometer gradually rising toward 100 degrees Celsius. As it approaches 100, it moves at a constant rate, right up to the exact number 100. There it stops for a moment, as the heat goes into the phase transition from a liquid to a gas rather than raising the temperature. Well, our sweat uses this. As the wind evaporates our sweat, a little bit of the heat energy in our skin is consumed and is pulled away, locked up in the water vapor that was our sweat. But I digress. Physical and chemical properties. Matter has both physical and chemical properties. Physical properties are observed in the matter's natural state. Chemical properties describe the matter's ability to change into a new substance. There are two types of physical properties: common physical properties such as length, mass, shape, and state, and characteristic physical properties. The characteristic physical properties do not depend on the amount of matter and include solubility, ductility, viscosity, thermal or electric conductivity, magnetism, malleability. There will be questions about these properties. Chemical properties describe how matter can change. These involve actual changes to the molecular structure of the matter and are not easily reversed. These properties include reactivity, decay, rusting, digestion, and flammability. There will also be questions about these properties. Lastly, to understand the difference between a physical and chemical change, we only need to ask one question. Did the molecular structure of the matter change? If yes, a chemical change has occurred. If no, then it was only a physical change. Now it can be difficult to tell the difference sometimes because we can't actually see the molecules. Your book has several examples you can look at. Ask and investigate, and over time you can develop a solid understanding of which types of changes are physical and which are chemical. Bring me some questions for class tomorrow, and have a great day.